What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I am doing a wedding update. I'm actually dressed like it's really sunny and summery, but it's actually really wet and windy and cold outside. Never mind. So we finished all of our house plans. The next thing on our list is our wedding. So I'm just going to do a quick wedding update today. For anybody who doesn't know, Lewis and I got engaged back in August last year, and we actually didn't announce to the whole wide world on Instagram or anything like that until I think it was January, because at the time that we got engaged, I was pregnant with Innes, and we wanted it really just to focus on Innes being born and things like that, and then we were going to announce that we got engaged. Soon after we got engaged though, I did start looking at wedding venues, dresses, created Pinterest boards, all these kind of things, as you do. But we still, to this day, and it has been over a year now that we've been engaged, we don't have any plans at all. We cannot decide what we want to do. Where I've got this pen, but I'm going with it. Before COVID hit, the whole world went into lockdown, we had viewed a few places, and I have written them all down in my little handy notebook. The main reason we've not booked anything and we have literally no solid concrete plans is basically that we just can't decide. There's a lot of things that we want, there's a lot of things that we want to do with our wedding, and yeah, we've just not really made a concrete decision. What we want and what we have the budget for is very, very different, and it's just trying to figure out stuff like that, you know, how we can accommodate for everyone. We have families scattered all over the place at the moment. Because of that, it means that we do not have anything booked, we don't have anything planned, and we basically just can't decide on what we want to do. What we have as an idea in our head and what we have as a budget do not add up. They are very, very different things. And that is probably one of our biggest challenges when it comes to planning our wedding, is trying to get something that we like, but that's also in budget as well. Before the whole world went into lockdown, however, we did have a look at a few wedding venues. So the first one that we went to was actually just along the road in Huntly, and it is called A Swanley. So I will put their website here. I really, really liked this venue. It was really rustic, kind of barn type feel, and it was lovely. It was so nice. The only issue that I had with the place though was that I didn't think it was going to be big enough, and I thought it might just be a little bit too much of a tight squeeze. It was one of those things that I was like looking around, I was like, oh, this is beautiful. You get so caught up in the moment. It was the first one that we looked at, but when we went home, I was like, I don't want to like go and see it again. I'm not like talking about it all the time. It was nice, but you don't want something that's just nice for your wedding venue. You want something that's like, wow, blows you away, that you're like, I want to have my wedding here now. The next one that we went to look at, I'm pretty sure it was a couple of months later, it was actually Coo's Cathedral, and it's in Aboyne, and I will put it here again now, some of the photos and stuff, and oh, it is stunning. It is so nice. It's just a completely empty barn, so you can get to do whatever you want with it. And oh, some of the photos that came out of it last year were just so nice. I really, really loved this venue. I probably would have booked it if it had just been up to me. However, there is actually very little accommodation nearby, and that is one of the things that we do need, because obviously we have kids who are obviously going to be at the wedding because they are our kids. But where do you put kids, you know, midway through the night while the wedding's still going? You know, they're going to get sleepy. They're not going to be able to stay up for the whole entire time. Was our main sticking point with that. And also we would have family who would have to travel up this way and stay, and then where do you put them? It was all that kind of issues that kind of came up with the whole thing. So we put a pin in it, and we kind of held on booking that venue because we definitely weren't sure. Right after Innes was born, I think he was only a couple of weeks old, we actually took another trip out to see a different venue, and it was Balogie House. It was recommended to us by a friend, and I actually really, really loved the whole idea of it. You get the whole house for 3 days. They put up a huge marquee. You get to use the house, you get to use the marquee. They've got beautiful grounds, really, really pretty views and everything like that. With that venue, it would make our wedding just a little bit more of an event. and it would be like a whole weekend type thing, you know, we would all come together, families could come together, and yeah, I really, really liked it. But again, it was slightly out of our budget for just the venue itself, because obviously when you add accommodation, when you add marquees and everything onto this venue, the price shoots straight up. So yeah, we held off on that. Obviously never booked that venue either. Our plan initially was to get married in 2022, but now my slight concern with all of this, and obviously the whole of 2020 and weddings, etc. with that, is that 2021 and 2022 will probably be really, really booked up and in really high demand, because you obviously have the people who wanted to get married in those years anyway, but then you also had the people who wanted to get married this year trying to fit into next year as well. So that is my only concern with our dates. Moving on next to the wedding dress. Now, I've had a Pinterest board probably since the moment that we got engaged. I'm going to show some of my wedding dress examples here. This is the kind of thing that I'm looking at, but to be honest, until you go and try them out, you have no idea what you're going to like. My main fear is that I find a dress that I really, really like online, and then I go and try it on and I'm like, oh, I don't suit that at all. And that's just like the only thing I've had in my head. So I'm trying not to look too much until I actually go to a dress shop, try stuff on, which seems really bizarre. Growing up, I never really thought about getting married, and I was never really one of these girls who like planned all of these things out, or you know, I had a pre-made Pinterest board of my wedding. So looking at these things and, you know, trying to decide what we want and everything is a little bit strange, because being honest, I never ever thought that this would happen to me. Does that sound weird? I never ever imagined myself being married, and I actually remember distinctly saying in school one time that I never wanted kids and I never wanted to get married. And fast forward, I don't know, 10 years, and I have 2 kids and I'm getting married. So it is a little bit strange sometimes to like wrap my head around. It feels surreal is more the thing is, it feels surreal. And sometimes when we go and view these venues and stuff, and they're speaking about everything to do with the wedding and ceremonies and things like that, it is a little bit surreal, and I feel like I'm almost pretending. Is that, yeah, I think that's the word. I just feel like I'm acting like I'm just there to pretend that I'm getting married, but it's like, no, you actually are getting married. And that is exciting, don't get me wrong, I am very excited to get married, because you know, we have kids, we have a house, we have a dog, we are basically married already. I also, as well, I do not feel old enough to A, have 2 kids, and B, be getting married. But then I'm like, oh no, you are actually nearly 27. You're not, you know, 17. All of these venues and stuff we viewed and we started looking at before I started the YouTube channel and before I started vlogging and all that. So it's actually really disappointing, but I do not have any footage of any of our visits, which, oh, I kind of wish I'd thought about that now, but never mind. If we do go and look at any other venues, I will try and vlog as much as I can. It also just depends on what people allow us to do and allow us to film. I did have a booking quite recently, actually maybe last month, to go and view another venue up in Inverness. However, Agnes got sick the night before and I really didn't want to leave her for the day. I had to cancel that, and I am looking to rebook that. So hopefully if I can get that rebooked soon, then I can do a vlog on that visit. I had also booked to go and view some wedding dresses and try on some wedding dresses recently, and that was probably about 2 days before Aberdeen went back down into lockdown. So I'm still to organise that again, but I definitely want to go and try on some dresses just to get an idea of what I like, of what suits me, And yeah, to get the process started, it would be nice to have something solid and concrete and booked. 2021 is fast approaching and 2022 is probably going to come even faster. I'm saying that we've gone and viewed all these venues, but actually the thing that we've not even agreed on is a date. I think we have sort of agreed on around about May, June time, but again, that all just depends on how busy these places are now in 2022, which is when we want, like the year that we want to get married. The other thing as well, and Lewis and I go back and forth on this constantly, and it is the guest list. The guest list was one of the first things I actually think we did. And Lewis has a lot of family. My family is considerably smaller, although I have a lot of friends. And a lot of friends that I want to invite to my wedding. It is a bit of a minefield in the sense that, like, where do you draw the line at who is a ceremony guest and who is just an evening guest? And it is really, really difficult, and I feel really bad because if I had the option and if we had the budget and the money, we would literally just have everyone for a ceremony. It would just be like a big whole event. Everybody would be here. There would be no like, oh, you're on the evening, oh, you're through the whole day. We would just have everyone here and it would be so much fun. But yeah, we can't. And I also think as well, no offense to Lewis, absolutely none at all, because why would boys be interested in weddings? It's my disclaimer to start off with. But boys do not have any idea how much these things cost. You know, we're looking at wedding venues and I feel like the expectation of what the price for what you can get just doesn't match up. Say if you have 100 people to your ceremony, that is 100 people that if you have got to pay for their meal at £60 a head. And that is really, really expensive. But sometimes I feel like boys do not understand that that is just how much these things cost. Don't get me wrong, I'm utterly horrified by some of the prices that we've gotten back from quotes and stuff that I've asked for. And I'm just sitting there like, how much? But this is what a wedding costs. Weddings are big business. They are expensive business. Oh, Ines is crying. If you thought this was just going to be a video of me talking for 10-15 minutes, think again. Because Ines is awake. Besides from all the wedding chat, it was actually Ines's 8-month birthday yesterday. Although in true second child fashion, I totally forgot and we forgot to take a photo. So that is our plan today, is to take Ines's 8-month photo. Did you have a good sleep? Anyway guys, I feel like I've rambled on enough about the wedding and my lack of booking, planning for long enough. So I will leave this video here. I hope you enjoyed it. It's been a little bit of a random one, to be honest. I didn't really have a plan, but I did want to do a wedding update video anyway. I will put all of the websites and the contact details for every single venue that I've spoken about down in the description box below. And I will also try and keep everyone as updated as I can on our wedding plans, but we will wait and see how it all works out. But hopefully with the tail end of this year and things starting to go back to normal, we will get something a little bit more sorted. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it. Also subscribe to our channel, and you can also follow us on Instagram, and again I will put the handle right here, and I'll speak to you all in our next video.